Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 428 Shibuya Scramble. This is part 32. I'm here with Yoshi,
What's up, folks?
and we are going to be continuing this story here. Do you remember what happened last time, Yoshi?
Are you doing like a very slight country accent? It's like it's
Yeah.
very underpronounced. Um,
You got me.
um, Last time we hung out with Kano and uh we found out Jack Stanley's from the CIA, but I thought we knew that like a year
Yeah.
ago. And oh yeah, let's look at the pictures. Oh yeah, he's with Achi. And Kanan, they all wound up together at Endo Electronics,
Yeah.
and uh, uh, Ashi's dad was like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill this John," and Ashi was like, "No, don't do that." And then
I love
Kana
her.
was like, he was like, "I'm gonna go in there," and then Jack Salmon was like, "Wait, let's see how this plays out." And the homie Kanan was there too. She was doing cute stuff like she always is.
She's like, ooh, I want to kill this Tateno with this knife. And Kano's like, hey, don't. No, wait, that's not Kano's voice. Hey, don't do that. I love that
Yeah,
guy. So it's like
yeah,
a
she's always
he got out of his own Achi situation.
yeah, she's always doing cute stuff like
We also spent some time with Osawa, I believe. It's just him talking
that.
to
Oh
his
yeah,
wife,
he talked to Aya Nagara and she was like, "I never loved you."
and he's
He
like,
was like, "It's
"Ditto,
okay."
dude.
He's, "I never loved anyone." It's like viruses.
I love me some viruses." All right. Well.
Nailed it, by the way.
Oh yeah, I remember what happened. We are kind of stuck because our jumps don't jump to where we need to jump. So
What if we're
Achi,
hard locked
yeah,
and
we're
we have
hard
to go
locked.
back to the beginning of the game?
I know how to unlock it though.
Oh, okay.
I can take you to the choice that can unlock a jump. To save us some time. I think it's this one. Yeah. What a great picture. Alright. Do you want me to just point it out? Or.
We weren't supposed to say Tanaka, even though that was the right name.
Yeah.
All right, what should we pick? My guess is Takahashi.
Did you want to try Takahashi?
No, it's just my guess.
For your money, if you had to guess? Shizuo wasn't on
Yeah,
here.
it's Shizuo. Well, because that's a first name, right? What did they changed? I'm so confused. Okay, wait. So this isn't going to go anywhere, right?
What do you think?
Nakamura.
Nakamura.
I'm on the right track. Okay.
Okay. Either way, the television pops up. I guess we're supposed to be reading these, but. And then it's Tanaka, and he's like, oh, it's the guy. What?
Wait, but this is what happened last time.
Yeah. Alright, let me tell you how you do it. Because, do you know Achi's last name?
Yes, Endo.
So if you choose Endo, it unlocks the jump. And that's the jump we need. Let me advance this a little further, just so we get back to where we were. Oh, these are not good. All right, let's endo it up. What was Achi doing when we last left him? He was dealing with his dad, right? Oh yeah, and someone was at the
Yeah.
door.
Who do you think it is?
For my money, if I had to guess,
Yeah.
uh, I'm not 100%, but I think it's, for my money, Kano's girlfriend's dad, Shizuo.
Oh, Shizuo? Nice guess, dude.
The workroom
Let's find out
door
if it's right.
slowly eased open. Achi was too shocked for words. The girl who entered looked just like Shizuo. Maria!
Mario. Oh,
Hitomi! I think this is both me. How do I make the twins sound different? Maria! Hitomi! I don't know, I didn't nail it. Achi blinked in bewilderment. It was almost as if Hitomi were standing in front of a mirror. The two girls looked so similar. Maria, thank goodness you're all right. I'm so sorry I had you worried. Maria was safe, Achi realized. At last he had managed to fulfill his duty.
you. Oh, is this?
Oh, this is me. I'm Achi's
This is
dad.
you.
Hey, you! How did you manage to get out of the storeroom? Daisuke had gone pale. Tell me, Maria said sharply, who was it who came up with this kidnapping plan? Suddenly, Daisuke shoved Maria aside and lunged for Hitomi. Is that possible? I feel like she would have, what is it? Jujitsu'd him. Is it jujitsu or something else?
No, I don't think it's jujitsu. It's
It's
oh, maybe it is.
Aki...
Aiki jujitsu. Yeah,
something like
maybe.
that.
She would have kicked his butt for sure.
Yeah. She was going easy on him. It's his, her sister's boyfriend's dad. Not boyfriend. Close friend's dad. She doesn't know that, though. Stanley moved to stop him, but before he could intervene, the older man had a hold on Hitomi, pressing something that looked like a flashlight up against her neck.
Dad?
Achi started toward him, but Stanley held up a hand. Don't move. That's a stun gun. If you don't know what a stun gun is, it's a piece of self-defense equipment for repelling would-be attackers with an electrical shock. There are several types, including baton-type, stun prods, and guns that fire needles attached to flexible wires. The latter is called a taser, or a taser gun. And they're produced by Taser International, now Axon. Stun guns are used not only by civilians, but also by law enforcement and military personnel for non-lethal applications.
I'd tell you a fun fact about tasers,
Sure.
aka stun guns. The farther away that you tase from, the more the intense of electrical shock it gives you. So if you tase someone from like maximum distance, it actually could kill them. So don't do that.
Wow. It's like in Smash
It's like
with Marth.
Dr. Mario's Nair. Oh,
Oh.
no. Like the tipper? Get him
Yeah,
with the
the tipper.
tipper?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dr. Mario
Yeah.
has a tipper also on his little tippy toe.
No, his Nair, I mean, I'm sure he has great feet, but his Nair, like the longer it stays out, the more powerful it gets.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about like the length of, or like the time it's out, or
No,
the size of a
no,
hitbox.
no. The side, like, how far away oh, are you talking about Dr. Mario or the taser? I'm not talking about the hitbox. I'm talking about how long the nair is out. It gets
Okay.
stronger. But that's not how the taser works. Oh, maybe
Yeah,
it also works like that.
yeah, yeah. That's why I think Martha's a better, thing, because it's about like the positioning of the hitbox. You can
Yeah,
get the very tip.
it's definitely a better analogy.
But that's not the analogy we're going to go with. We're sticking with Dr. Mario. If he zaps her in the neck, it could kill her, especially since he's so close.
Hey, you know your stuff.
Daisuke said.
You deal in American electronics or something?
I'm CIA. Oh. No. I do this for a living. Stanley drew his gun in an instant, taking aim at Daisuke's forehead. Wow, so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Just point a gun at someone and be like, "I do this for a living."
Very American. It's a very American thing to do.
Yeah. Achi
Are you gonna
is
say
too
wait
shocked to even move.
or blink?
No,
We're not
I'm just gonna
moving.
blink.
Alright. Achi was too shocked to even move. Stanley took another step toward Daisuke, keeping his gun trained on the other man. Who is this? Oh. Alright.
Stop this, please. Just stop.
Snapping out of his daze, Achi scampered between the two men. Stanley didn't lower his gun, but unless he shoved Achi aside, he couldn't get a clear shot at Achi's dad. Achi turned to face his father.
Dad, let Hitomi go. You need to stop this nonsense.
Achi walked slowly toward his father, a pleading look in his eyes.
Nonsense? Which one of us is talking nonsense here? You don't know what's going on. If you knew everything, then you'd be helping me.
What do you mean, everything?
I meant, with this girl's heart, we can save Suzune.
Dad, who was it exactly that told you that?
Daisuke did not reply.
I asked you a question. Who was it that put this crazy idea into your head?
A foreign organ trafficker I met at the hospital,
Daisuke muttered.
You should never trust foreign organ traffickers that you meet at the hospital.
An organ trafficker. In Japan, a medical professional known as a transplant coordinator handles the liaison between the donor and recipient parties, but there are many cases of illegal or borderline illegal activity carried out by third-party organ brokers. There's a lot of good money in that, apparently. There are countries where organ transplants are openly performed for monetary gain, and no shortage of specialists willing to do the job. These questionable markets include suppliers who source viable organs and tissue for transplant from cadavers.
Cool.
Stanley let out a snort. A likely story.
It's true. I was suspicious at first myself,
Daisuke said stubbornly.
but I couldn't just sit around and wait for Suzune to die. And, after talking to him about her rare blood type and all the difficulties in transforming a transplant, he promised he'd do everything in his power.
Daisuke's hands were trembling. Tears welled up in his vacant and bloodshot eyes.
Then, a while later, he got back in touch and told me he'd found a potential match. Someone with the same blood type as Suzune, and roughly the same age. But then he told me that the girl was still alive. And so, what was the point? Her heart might be a match for Suzune's, but it didn't matter if we couldn't get our hands on it. And I said that, but then the man told me.
He told you what?
Achi bit his lip.
He told me to abduct her and turn her over to him. After that, he'd find a way to make it all work.
At last, Daisuke had confessed. Now Achi had to try to come to grips with the truth he had just heard.
I had to do something.
His father continued vehemently.
I had to abduct this girl and see things through. I just couldn't take it. Kotone had already been taken from me. The thought of losing Suzune too. I had to make sure I didn't fail.
So it was this organ trafficker who came up with the kidnapping scheme then, Stanley said. He kept his gun aimed at his target. Daisuke nodded. Describe him for me.
He was tall. He had black hair. Spoke fluent Japanese.
Stanley raised an eyebrow at that. Achi wondered if he had some idea who it might be. Oh, who do you think it might be? Yoshi?
Probably Shizuo.
Yeah, he's tall. He has
He
black
speaks
hair.
fluent Japanese. He fits the description perfectly.
And taking Maria Osawa hostage in order to lure out Hitomi. That was his idea as well?
Yeah. Yes, that's right. I allowed his computer to access my surveillance camera system as well. But then, this morning, I got a call from the hospital saying Suzune's condition was critical. I couldn't wait any longer. I had to help my girl right away. And then...
Daisuke cut himself off, reaffirming his grip on his stun gun.
I was looking at the surveillance monitor and I saw a detective I happened to know. He was right next to this girl here. And so I decided to ask him. I knew if I did, he wouldn't refuse. He could never refuse a request from me.
And that was the man with the cape?
Achi asked. His voice was low and hoarse.
Yes. I was giving him directions while I followed you on the monitors.
But we already figured that out, didn't we?
They told us, so yeah. Dad, you need to let go of Hitomi now. There's no point to this.
Achi took another step closer to his father.
There is a point. If I kill this girl here and now, your sister can get the surgery she needs.
But even Achi knew that things couldn't possibly work out that way. His father had grown so desperate to help Suzune that he'd lost all sense of judgment.
Why, Achi? Why won't you help me? Don't you want to save Suzune?
Daisuke made a pathetic sight.
I don't think they let you just take the heart after you murder someone.
And yet his desperation to save his child was so palpable it was heartrending. Achi thought back to that time he'd laid his father out when sparring. No matter how pathetic he may have looked, Achi had always felt that sense of paternal love from him. You're not gonna be able to talk him down, Stanley murmured. Achi shook his head.
Stanley,
He said.
lower your gun.
Tears were welling up in his eyes.
Please, lower your gun.
Hearing the determination in Achi's voice, Stanley quietly complied. Achi stepped up to Daisuke, getting a firm grip on his father's slender shoulder.
Dad, of course I want to help Suzune.
Then why are you trying to stop me?
I think it's funny that this guy is talking exactly the same.
Yeah.
Dad, do you think this is what she'd want you to do?
The sister spoke before, right? Did the sister have talk the same way?
Oh, we should have done it. If we see her again, we'll have to do that for sure.
Daisuke's face fell. Off.
Did Suzune ask for this, Dad? Did she tell you to take someone else's heart so that she could live longer? Did she, Dad?
Suddenly, the fight seemed to ebb from Daisuke's body. The stun gun hung limply in his hand. Uh, yeah, I think this is still Achi.
Oh, this is Yumi. Okay. If Suzune asked me to go and get someone's heart for her, I wouldn't object. I'd help her just like she wanted. I wouldn't let you bear these crimes by yourself. But that's not what this is it? Suzune would never ask us to do something like this, would she?
By now, tears were streaming down Achi's cheeks. He knew that his father thought about Suzune more than he thought of anyone else. And so, he should know full well that she would never want this.
Suzune's not like me. She's smart, she's kind, and she'd never be happy about taking someone else's heart. Even if it saved her life, I'm sure she'd never accept that. She wouldn't be able to live with it, knowing something so horrible had happened to someone else for her sake. Isn't that the Suzune we know?
Daisuke's cheeks were smeared with tears now as well.
But then we're not going to be able to help her.
The sound of father and son weeping echoed through the workroom.
Maybe so. Maybe we won't. But that's better than the misery and suffering she'd have to live with.
Daisuke slumped to his knees on the floor, collapsing like a crumbling mound of sand. Hitomi, freed from his grip, stood motionless. There were tears in her eyes, too.
You're such an idiot, Dad. Such a complete, utter idiot.
Sobbing, Achi embraced his father. There was a sudden thud from near the door. Everyone turned to look. Maria had crumpled to the floor, and a newcomer had appeared. At some point, Kanan had silently entered the room, and now she cradled Maria in her arms. Standing in the doorway was a man Achi didn't recognize, his face pale. Do you know who this guy is? It's Kano.
It's just Kano. Stay back!
Oh, no. That's
Oh. Stay back.
Kano shouted at Achi when he tried to approach. It looked like Maria had fallen unconscious. Achi's heart was racing in his chest. An eerie silence fell over the room. For several seconds no one said a word, their eyes all fixed on Maria. Finally, Kanan looked up, her face ashen.
It's starting. Was she just get her period or something?
No, she's infected with the virus, isn't she? With the uwu
Oh.
virus.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, I was just trying to be period positive.
Does that usually happen to you when on your period?
What, did I collapse?
Yeah.
No.
So it's not just me. We got a jump to Kano. I think that's it, right? We just follow the jump to Kano. Yeah.
An unfamiliar joint.
Hopping on over. It's probably going to be the same thing, right? Are we going to learn any new information?
Let's find out.
After the young man's desperate pleading, the other fellow, apparently his father, finally gave in. He released his hold on Hitomi. The tension in the room was replaced by a solemn air of gravitas. Seeing father and son weeping as they spoke made Kano think back to his conversation with Tateno before the stakeout. What was it in people that drove them to do such horrible things? Sometimes it was the desire to save the ones they loved. Even such a heartfelt human emotion could drive someone to wrongdoing. Why? Why did people have to be like that? A sudden thud snapped Kano out of his musing. An instant later, Kanan hurried past him into the workroom. Maria had collapsed onto the floor, and now Kanan was beside her. In a panic, Kano rushed into the workroom as well.
Stay back.
Kanan shouted as the others tried to huddle around the fallen girl.
Please don't be what I think this is.
I think this is Kano thinking.
Oh. Please don't be what I think this is.
Had the virus gone symptomatic? A symptom? 2 hours ago, Stanley had told Kano that Maria was infected. He'd also said that her symptoms wouldn't develop for another 4 hours. Shouldn't they still have 2 more hours to go? Maria looked like she was dead, her eyes closed, her body motionless. Hitomi tried to approach despite Kanan's warning. "Maria!" she cried. "Maria, what's wrong?" Kano held his arms wide to hold her back.
Oh, sorry, I misread that. Your sister has been infected with the Ua virus.
The Ua virus? Hitomi's face went pale.
Hey,
Kano said to Kanan.
should you really be that close? If she's developed symptoms.
But Kanan didn't move from Maria's side. She calmly rested her hand on the other girl's forehead.
There's no fever,
She said.
and there's no blood coming from her ears. No lip swelling. It'll be alright. She hasn't gone symptomatic yet.
In that case, why did she collapse? Hitomi asked.
I'm not sure yet. Whatever the case, if we don't get her that antiviral, she's done for.
Then we have to get her to the lab right away, Hitomi said. She was trembling with anxiety.
No, that's not an option. Oh.
Oops.
Alright, well, Kano said that.
Yeah, and he was copying Kanan's inflection.
Yes, he's very immature.
Kano's tone was grave.
You may already be aware, Miss Osawa, but without a password, we can't access the antiviral storage.
But when I went there, my father and Mr. Tanaka...
Amar Tanaka is dead. Murdered.
What? She stared at him uncomprehendingly. No. No, that can't be true. That's my mom's boyfriend.
He's a member of a crime syndicate. It's possible they killed him in order to silence him.
So then, there's no way to save my sister? There was a hollow look in Hitomi's eyes.
No, I won't accept that. Why? Why can't we help her?
But no one had an answer. Kano gritted his teeth and hung his head. Why did it have to come to this? He'd come this far, but there was nothing he could do, and he hated himself for it.
I'll go to the laboratory.
Oh, that's Kanan.
Kanan.
Copying Kano's inflection. Just to get back at him for what he was doing earlier.
Electronic lock breaking is my specialty. Wait,
The young man, Achi, spoke up suddenly.
so you're a martial arts badass, but your specialty is lock breaking?
He looked positively dumbstruck. Kanan ignored him, thinking out loud. Oh, we got all these...
Brute force. Side channel. Shortcut. given the situation, I think I have to go with side channel.
Alright, brute force. It's a technique where you test input all theoretically possible patterns. If time were unlimited, this would be the most reliable means of decipherment. However, it takes massive amounts of time and computational power, and can be defeated by systems that prohibit access after a limited number of failed input attempts. Side channel.
Yeah, like how in the movies when they're like, you have 3 guesses before the device locks or whatever, and then the protagonist always tries 2 things really quickly
Yeah.
because like they want them to only have 1 guess. It's
Yeah.
just like dog.
Birthday? No. My birthday? No. Well, I got one more guess. I guess I'll save it for later. Side channel, in the meantime, is about analyzing information from the device and using these details to exploit the system. Isolating the run state of devices is a crucial element of countering side channel attacks. And shortcut is when you use mathematical algorithms to carry out efficient bulk calculations against a block cipher that makes use of a shared key for encryption and decryption.
This one's not very good, is what they're saying.
Yeah. It's not very good.
Like, by the way, it never works.
Side channel, Stanley asked. Where's your equipment?
One of the lab PCs will suffice. I can connect to a special server from the net. I don't really understand the stuff you're talking about,
Achi said.
but I'll trust you to handle this. I mean, you did risk your life to save Hitomi from that minivan explosion and all.
Kanan nodded.
I have to warn you in advance, though. Cryptanalysis can take hours and still yield no results. I can't guarantee I'll be able to get the doors unlocked before Madia develops symptoms.
I understand, Hitomi said. Achi nodded too. No one present had any objections. All of a sudden, there was a curious sound from somewhere in the room.
What's that?
Kano asked.
What's making that noise?
He looked around the workroom. It's Shizuo. Just kidding.
He's just standing in the corner going,
What up?
Hey, that's my computer.
Daisuke hurried to his desktop. The bank of monitors, which had been displaying surveillance camera footage from around Shibuya, had all gone black.
What the hell?
what's going on, Dad?
Achi joined his father, staring at the computer screens. Did we have, Achi's mom have this accent also? I think we missed out.
No, I don't think so. Because it runs in the family, right? So she doesn't have, like...
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's all gone. The camera footage, it has been deleted.
Daisuke blinked in disbelief. Alright, who is this?
This is Titano.
Alright, read it in the Titano voice then.
Basically, now then, it seems our main cast has all been assembled.
Oh. A man's voice, distorted by a voice modulator, suddenly emerged from the computer speakers. Can you try to make your voice sound like it's being modulated?
Geez, I don't know.
Oh.
I'll try, if he says anything else.
A moment later, the monitors all began to display a view of the inside of the workroom.
Dad, what the hell is this?
Someone's broken through our firewall. which is the security system for preventing unauthorized intrusion into a computer network. It stems from a metaphorical reapplication of the concept of a wall meant to inhibit the spread of fire or other destructive forces.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be like a wall of fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a wall to protect from fire.
They've hijacked the surveillance camera system.
The color drained from Daisuke's face as he looked at the screens.
Where are they filming us from?
Kano asked, scanning the inside of the room. He used the image on the monitors to guess where the camera might be located.
We're here.
The lens of a camera set atop the computer monitor glimmered like an eye. It was a miniature camera, used for web conferencing and the like. Alright, I think this is the voice modulated guy.
Okay. Now that Mario and Toby are both dead, you have probably surmised the situation at hand. And so I offer a proposal. The library password in exchange for Toby's blood.
Realizing now that it was Alphard's voice they were hearing, everyone in the room froze. Alright, Alphard.
He doesn't have a voice though yet, right?
Yeah, he doesn't.
But it's modulated.
Modulated. I think you were still kind of doing a Teteno earlier, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not, I mean, that's
Yeah.
because I thought it was Tetano.
That's Teteno.
That was 7 o'clock. We're roughly 1 hour from now. Seated Hotel Yosawa is waiting at the Scramble intersection outside the Shibuya station. Just like this morning. Unless, of course, you're feeling particularly confident. You do have a Kanan with you. Perhaps you'd care to take a gamble on her lock-breaking skills instead.
Kanan clucked her tongue in frustration. Alphard had known exactly what the plan was. That darn Alphard.
Well, if you kind of isn't able to get to the door play in time, what will you do then? Mario, so did I. That's not all. If you read my offer, I found the means of creating another Mario. And the third. Reason Chucky's will start the virus to Tokyo. But that's all the likely number in hundreds of thousands.
It is difficult to predict the scope of infection in the event of a bioterrorist attack employing a highly infectious viral agent in a city with a large mobile population. In a worst-case scenario, some researchers estimate as many as several million infected in a matter of days. Oofa.
So, do think just carefully before you decide.
Alphard's voice was chillingly matter-of-fact.
Nailed it. I'll appear to radio in person, see? After all, I wouldn't do for the star of the show this stuff on a curtain. I'm looking forward to reading all of you that.
Silence fell. Then the images on the computer monitor returned to normal. The surveillance camera footage came back online as well. Daisuke promptly yanked out his Ethernet cable and slammed his fists on the keyboard.
Damn it! There was a hole in the firewall. I'll have to redo my security from the ground up.
Good call.
Kanan said calmly.
We can't win this if our intel keeps getting late.
Stanley pursed his lips in consternation.
What do we do?
Kano asked him.
Do we give in to his demands? I mean, do we really expect he's just going to blithely show up like that? He's practically begging for us to come and catch him.
There had to be some deeper plan at work.
If it means saving my sister, I'll do it.
Hitomi was resolute. No, Stanley said. You can't.
What? Why not?
Because if you do, you'll be killed.
What?
Hitomi's voice caught in her throat. With the antiviral still present in your body a week after the fact, you're too much of a liability for Alphard to just let go.
He's right. Don't do it.
Achi exclaimed.
Hitomi, you can't go.
Even still, I want to do it.
Hitomi stared defiantly at Stanley. You still
You
want
still
to...
want to go?
Oh.
Oh. Sorry,
Who is this? Is this Stanley or Achi?
Yeah, no, it's Stanley,
Alright.
I think.
You still want to go even knowing that you'll be killed?
I can't just sit here and hope that Kanan is able to pull this off,
She said.
I want to do something for my sister. I want to save her.
She peered down at Maria, sprawled on the floor. Oh, yeah, they left her down there. She'd object to me going, I'm sure of that.
But I want to do what I can. To do things my way.
No one tried to contradict her this time. Maybe
Is this Achi?
maybe this is Stanley. It sounds like someone in charge, or trying to take charge. If she's willing to take
Okay.
the risk, then there are things the rest of you can do too. Oops. This is Kanan being immature again.
Hear it.
Kana replied. He squared his shoulders. He was of the same mind as Hitomi. He couldn't just do nothing and leave it all on Kanan. After everything he'd been through, he wanted to stick with his case until the very end.
Apprehend Alphard at the rendezvous and demand the password from him.
Kanan offered the suggestion as if it were a simple task.
That lets you get what you want without putting Hitomi in danger.
Kano let out a sigh.
Hold on.
He said,
Even if we do arrest him, how are we going to get him to call the password? We don't have time to drag him off to an interrogation room. And besides, he doesn't strike me as the sort to offer a confession that easily.
There are ways.
Kanan said.
Once Alphard has made contact with Hitomi, call my cell phone.
Hitomi tilted her head.
Call you?
I have plenty of information Alphard might want to bargain for. I can negotiate with him directly.
Kano considered Kanan's proposal.
I see. So we'll try both options. Attempt to hack the password at the lab, and also try negotiating with Alphard. That gives us 2 chances.
With that tiny ray of hope, Hitomi's face brightened some.
We'll split into 2 groups. One for the lab, and one for Shibuya Station.
Kanan said.
Let's exchange phone numbers so we can be in touch when the time comes.
The group quickly shared contact info as suggested. Yeah, I guess this is before group chats. Hitomi and Kanan called one another's phones to be sure. Hitomi's cheerful ringtone felt out of place, but also somehow soothing, a fragment of normalcy in the midst of crisis.
Well, guess we're all set then.
Hitomi said, looking down at the LCD screen. Her expression turned apologetic.
I'm sorry, Kanan, for having to keep putting things on you.
Hey,
Kanan replied.
don't worry about it. I thought she was gonna say, I'd rather you keep putting things in me.
Okay. Now, I guess I should call my father.
Hitomi called Kenji Osawa on his cell, asking him to let Maria and Kanan into the lab. Alright, we gotta jump to Kenji Osawa.
Oh, I thought he was done. He's not done?
I think he's still out of keep out. We still have...
Oh, okay.
Did we finish Minorikawa? Yeah, I think
Yes, I
Minorikawa's
think
done.
so.
With the bloody knee, right?
Yeah.
Kano leaned in to whisper into Kanan's ear.
Are you sure you're okay with this?
Nailed it.
With what?
I know that you're after Alphard. Are you sure you want to go to the lab and not...
Not now. I want to save Mario. That's all.
Her tone was as curt and mechanical as ever, but there was a fierce gleam of determination in her eyes. Mario was clearly someone very special to her.
Right.
Kano replied.
Leave Alphard to me.
He thumped himself on the chest. He'd succeed this time, no matter what the odds. How many times do you think he thumped? Just once, probably. Kano could scarcely recall the whirlwind of events that had brought him here. He'd somehow survived a dozen disasters. Even now, a dear friend was in the hospital, at risk of dying. There were times when he'd been ready to give up. And yet, at the end of it all, here he was. His opponent was an international terrorist. No matter how you looked at it, that wasn't a matchup for a mere detective.
Do it anyway. Really?
Shizuo! Nice.
Sasayama. And Detective Potato
Was actually a huge dick.
I'm gonna take down Alphard and save Mario Osawa's life. Just you watch and see.
To be continued. Alright, let's finish Kenji Osawa, and then we can call it an episode.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just a tidy little place to end the jump.
Yeah, Minori Kawa's at 2. Alright. What have you got for us, Kenji Osawa?
Pardon me.
Things do seem to be ramping up. And then we got Minori Kawa, just running around, trying to get his paper done.
That's all he's ever tried to do. That'd be really hot.
Tanaka hadn't given Ai his password. Osawa's last chance had gone up in smoke. He let out a long, shaky breath and shut his eyes tight. Was it true? Was there nothing more he could do? Osawa's cell phone rang. When he saw the name on the incoming call display, he nearly shouted out loud. It was Hitomi.
Are you alright? Please, tell me you're alright.
Yeah, I'm fine. But Maria's...
Maria? Is Maria there with you?
Osawa's heart leaped.
Dad, there isn't any time for me to explain everything, so I'll just have to give you the main points. This is so we can save my sister, so just stay calm and listen.
Osawa struggled to hold back the 1,000 questions that immediately came boiling into his mind.
There's a girl named Kanan who's going to bring Maria to the lab. She's going to try to hack the password in order to get us inside.
Wait, hold on. Just what in the world is going on?
There are a bunch of people here working to help save Maria. Can you wait for us at the lab, Dad?
I'm not sure that electronic lock is something that'll be so easy to...
We've got another plan in motion, too. And if that goes well, we might be able to learn the password.
It was all too much to follow, but Osawa realized he'd have to take Hitomi at her word. It was their only hope of saving Maria.
Alright,
He said.
I'll do as you ask. But... you said you're trying 2 approaches. You're not going to be in danger, are you?
No, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Okay. Very well. I'm heading to the laboratory now.
Oh.
Was his eye?
Looks like it.
You can't go.
The moment Osawa hung up and started for the house, I clung to him from behind.
If you use the antiviral now,
She said.
everything will go public.
There's no way we can keep the virus or the antiviral under wraps at this point.
Osawa tried to pull free, but his wife was stronger than he expected.
Besides, if Maria infects other people, the whole world is going to find out in a matter of hours.
No, we can just quarantine her. If it's handled correctly, we'll still be able to retain secrecy.
Ai's voice was cold as ice.
Do you even have any idea what you're saying right now?
I do. I know how it sounds, okay? But this is the only thing I can.
Her voice trailed off. He could feel the force of her trembling where she held him.
Have I really put you into that much of a corner?
Osawa slipped from Ai's arms and prostrated himself on the ground in front of her.
I'm sorry. I'm truly, truly sorry.
Oh, stop this. Get up. If you're really sorry, then don't go to that lab.
But Osawa remained silent, his forehead pressed to the dirt.
If you use that antiviral without corporate approval, your time with Okoshi is finished.
That doesn't matter to me anymore.
How can you say that? Virology is the only thing you've ever cared about.
Ai began pummeling his back.
Maybe virology is all that I care about. I don't know the first thing about anything else. I never wanted to know. Never even thought to find out. Never bothered to learn what you or my own children might think. I'm a failure. As a father and as a husband.
How dare you say that only after it's come to this?
Ai struck him again, harder than before.
You're right.
He gasped out the words between her blows.
Maybe this has been too long coming, but it's not too late. I can still start over.
Start over?
She paused in disbelief.
You already turned down that American job. If you use that antiviral now, there won't be any starting over. You'll lose everything.
Will I lose you too?
After you've gone and thrown everything else away like this, how can I possibly stay with you?
Ai was sobbing softly now. Osawa wondered what her tears were for. But there was one thing he did know. She was right. They couldn't be together anymore. He got to his feet and headed back into the house, leaving Ai behind. He hurried through the back entrance and went into the garage. Climbed into his car, fastened his seatbelt, and took a deep breath. The image of a younger Maria arose in the back of his mind. There she was at that park, getting drenched by the rain, holding back her tears as she waited for her father.
Wait for me, Maria. This time I'm going to come for you.
I was wrong. Going to the lab wouldn't mean losing everything. He'd let too many important things slip through his fingers. Now, it was time to go take them back. Osawa pulled his car onto the street and sped toward the laboratory. As if to signal that the long day was drawing to a close, the dazzling sun sank down between the buildings in the distance. The end of his story. And will we ever? We never got to see him outside of his house, really, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Ooh, it's a 2-hour time block here.
Ooh. Well, 2 hour special.
Nice. This, I believe this is the final stretch then.
Oh wow.
2-hour special. And we're down to 3 characters left. Looks like we can't start with Achi. So we're either starting with Kano or Minorikawa.
I know who I'm picking.
That's a good place to stop though.
Yeah.
So, impressions, theories, jokes, tangents.
I was thinking recently about how, like, the like not like rotisserie chicken restaurants have gone out of favor.
Really?
Like, so there's still Peruvian chicken, which is quite good. But like the like um, the endemically American, or maybe some of it's English too, I guess, like chicken, like Boston Market. Like there used to be a Boston Market on every corner, but like when's the last time you've seen a Boston Market? Do they have Boston Market in Japan?
I don't think so. I haven't seen one at least.
Like when's the last time you ate Boston Market?
I don't think I've ever eaten Boston Market.
Oh no, it's good.
I don't think I've been to a rotisserie chicken restaurant.
Oh jeez.
Normally-
We used to have this.
When I was younger, if we were to get rotisserie chicken, we'd get it from like Walmart or Publix or something.
Yeah, those aren't as good though. I guess because they're not, even if they're like kind of fresh, they're not like super fresh and like.
Yeah.
I don't know. We used to have this chain, a local chain called Chicken Out. It might have been more than local. I don't know. Might have been national. I'm not sure. But that kind of got subsumed by Boston Market, and for a while, Boston Market was like king. But I haven't seen a Boston Market in ages. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but I guess maybe people have just learned to demand a little more from their food. If you're going to go to a restaurant, people are like, okay, I'm not going to go to a restaurant and pay you like $12 to eat like
Food that's been like
oven-baked
sitting
chicken.
there and spinning on a stick for the past 5 days.
Why is that 5 days? But it's maybe a little longer than you'd like. But they also had, like mac and cheese and mashed potatoes and stuff sitting in those little vats under the heat lamp behind the counter.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be a good thing that we've moved on. What about have you ever had Nando's Peri Peri?
Yeah, I've been to Nando's. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's basically what Boston Market was like, except they don't have that nice sauce.
Yeah, it's not spicy. Doesn't have that kick.
Well, the Nando's
spices.
chicken does not intrinsically have a kick, right? It just comes from the sauce.
Yeah. I heard Nando's is super popular in England.
Yeah, I think that's where it's from, right?
Yeah.
Figures. The English know nothing about cooking.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I mean, it's decent. There's nothing wrong with
Like
it.
the only thing that I can think of that's like English that it only comes to mind is just like what fish and chips.
Yeah, fish and chips.
They don't really have a
be-
thing.
be- beef Wellington is actually really good. Have you ever had it?
I have not. Is chicken pot pie also like kind of that same kind of thing? Did it originate in
Chicken
England?
pot pie. It feels like Irish to me. I don't know why. I guess because they call it shepherd's pie. Oh no, that's a different one. I feel like shepherd pie is from Ireland because that's where all the shepherds are, right?
Hmm.
That's why they have the jokes about the sheep and stuff.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, you might be right.
But yeah, I don't know. It could be English. I've never been to England, and I don't feel particularly bad about that. If I wanted
Yeah.
to see a bunch of dumb people speaking English, I would just go outside.
You don't get to you don't want to partake in like I don't know making Brexit jokes and talking about how the queen is dead and there's the king now. Not
I could
hashtag
do-
not my king.
Are people saying that?
I don't know.
Um, I I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't appreciate it. They
Yeah.
like,
They'll just be like, "This is dumb American."
yeah. They are just as bad though. If you go, I mean, that's the whole Brexit thing and Boris Johnson. Not to get too political, I don't think any of this is particularly controversial though. Like everyone knows Boris Johnson's a freaking meathead, and like um, Theresa May, she was dumb as dirt. Um, then they had that new woman. She only lasted 45 days, and the public there, like the Brexit is so stupid. Like the public there, like it turns out they're just as dumb as the people over here. I guess like the grass is greener on the other side, but it's not. So apologies to all the English listeners out there.
Anyway, did you have any thoughts about the actual game? Any theories?
Oh.
I know you don't have any, but for your money, if you had
For
to say
my
something.
money, I don't know, man. Is there something I'm supposed to be picking up on that I'm not
No, I'm
picking
just-
up on?
No, if you just have like, oh, I think they're going to save the day, or I think. All right, here's a more
I do
specific
think-
question. Do you think
Okay.
who do you think would die if anyone dies?
Kano.
Yeah, I can see that. He seems like the kind of guy who would die.
Yeah. So he's so goofy.
For Shizuo! And then he just runs in and dies.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't die though. I hope no one dies. But if I had to say someone was gonna die, I think it's probably for my money. It'd probably be Kano.
Yeah. Not Achi? Achi is basically Kano, but as a delinquent. They're both similar, aren't they? They're both kind of like love struck. They both
Love
just
struck,
bumble. into-
strong-willed, a bit incompetent.
Yeah. It's just Kano's a little older.
Yeah. I don't think Achi's gonna die. No, I think he's gonna live happily ever after with Hitomi. That's the one he likes, right? Hitomi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna hook up at the end and we're gonna get to see them kissing.
Ooh,
And maybe more.
nice.
Probably not more. Probably just kissing.
Darn. Well, I guess we'll find out. We probably won't find out in the next episode. This is a 2-hour block. How many episodes do you think it's going to take? Did you
That's
make?
just a guess.
Did you make a
I
guess?
said sixth.
Oh, 6?
I said sixth. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. And that's only for the next block, right? Not for any like post game stuff that we may or may not do.
Right.
All right. So we're probably not gonna finish this by the end of the year. Maybe it's kind of cutting it close.
Uh,
1, 2,
we'd have
3.
to not miss a week, basically.
Yeah, which might be tough
There's
with
gonna
like
be holidays and
holidays
stuff.
coming up. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we'll do our best to get it out by the end of the year for all the folks at home, all the loyal fans. I see you guys.
Did we?
You
talk
guys are what we do this for.
Yeah, we don't do this for ourselves.
No, the fans are really what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Did we discuss about what we're gonna do after? I think we wanted to do Final Fantasy.
Yeah, there's
I would
talk of
play.
a playthrough of FF1 and maybe further FFs if it goes well.
Yeah, I've never played any. Well, I played a little bit of 10, but I never beat it.
Did it have the chocobos?
Did they get to a part where there was? I think there was a chocobo. I saw a chocobo.
All right, little spoiler for you. There's no chocobos in Final Fantasy 1.
What? I thought that was like a staple. Final Fantasy staple.
I think they may have debuted in 7, but I'm not sure. I know they were in 7. They might have been existed before that.
Wow.
But yeah, there's lots of fun bad guys though.
I bet.
Cool names and stuff.
Like,
it's a really good one.
Slime, is that one? Or is that only
Yes,
Dragon
there's
Quest?
slime.
Okay, cool.
No, there's slime. There's like, they reuse skins. So like, they'll take a bad guy and like, because the game is made in like 1986.
Yeah, just change the color.
Yeah, so there's like slime, muck, and ooze, and they're all like different colors of the same blob. It's really cool. But yeah, hopefully all the following that we've developed over the course of Shibuya Scramble will just follow us on over to the
Yeah,
FF1.
that'd be really nice. Like, look at all the views we've gotten in these past videos. It's like that's a lot of fans.
Yeah. A few of those were me.
And one of those is me, because I have to check if, that the video is fine. Alright, welp. I guess that's the episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna start the beginning of the end of the Scramble next time.
Oh yeah.
See you guys then.
See you folks.